Partnering with the Maine Monitor to bring you some of the reporting being done at the independent paper. Today, we have Matt Junker joining us. So the topic today is, for years, Maine lawmakers, top executive branch employees, and legislative candidates have had to file personal financial statements that disclose how they make money. But candidates for Maine governor have been excluded from this requirement. Only the winning candidate for governor has to submit this financial information within 30 days after the election. Now, most other New England states require this information before they pick their next governor. So the Maine Monitor reached out to all three Maine governor candidates to see if they would provide it voluntarily and to see if they think Maine should change its approach. So Matt, what are the current requirements in Maine for these personal financial disclosures?
It actually depends on the official and on the candidate. For current lawmakers and all legislative candidates, they have to file these disclosures. Also, a lot of top executive officials, the governor, a lot of the governor's cabinet members, and even top officials within different departments below the cabinet level also have to submit these disclosures. Now, a sort of interesting quirk, a notable absence, as you mentioned, are those candidates for governor. Only the winning candidate has to declare their or submit their personal financial statement, and that doesn't have to happen until after they are elected. And so what that means is, functionally, voters have information about legislative candidates ahead of time that lists the sources of their income, things like debts, boards and committees related to political activity, if they are family members, serve on a political committee like that has to be listed. What is not listed on these disclosures are specific income amounts. Basically, they have to report sources of income that are $2,000 or greater. So it allows the public to assess any potential conflicts of interest. It's sort of an annual snapshot on those finances, and it doesn't tell you totals. But it is interesting that it's required for some candidates, but not all.
And when you reached out to the candidates, what were they willing to share?
We are in a general election, 3 candidates vying to become Maine's next governor, that we would reach out to them and see if they would be willing to voluntarily provide those financial disclosure statements about their personal finances, and also what they thought about the current law and whether they thought it should be changed and have candidates for governor like themselves be added to that list of candidates who have to file this ahead of the election. And so we heard back from all 3 campaigns, from independent Rick Bennett. And Bennett actually is a sitting lawmaker, so his personal financial statement is already available online. So he didn't have to provide that information. We could already see it, but he did answer some clarifying questions about the information already available, and also said that he felt that the law should be changed in order to require these for candidates for governor ahead of the election. Hannah Pingree did provide her information voluntarily as well. Interestingly, even though she was a top administration official for Governor Janet Mills, it was a newer office, a newly created office that she served in. And it doesn't seem like state statute had actually kept up to require disclosure specifically from that office. And so her personal financial information was actually not available yet, but she did provide it to us as well. And she also said that she felt that the law should be changed to require this information ahead of the election. Bobby Charles responded, said that he wasn't quite as strong in his feelings, or in his response at least, saying that he was not opposed to changing this law, but would need to see any legislation as governor before committing to sign it. And he also did not provide his personal financial information, essentially saying he felt there were a lot of issues in this campaign, and he hadn't heard this one come up. And he didn't feel like that this was the time to share that information. So that's sort of the top line for each of them. And I think there's a lot of information there about their, again, doesn't have specific totals, but lists sources of income for the candidates, information that we do have now. So I would encourage folks to go to the maine-monitor.org, and you can look through all the various sources of income and some positions that these candidates have on boards and that sort of thing, or it also typically requires information for spouses and domestic partners and dependent children.